Have you ever felt that gnawing, persistent pain? The kind that just won't quit. That feeling of being totally trapped, searching and searching for answers, but you just keep hitting a wall.
It's incredibly isolating.
It really is, and it's something far too many people know, intimately. Today, on the deep dive, we're going to try and cut through some of that confusion.
Yeah, bring a fresh perspective.
Exactly. We're looking at Dr. Sanjay Gupta's new book, It Doesn't Have to Hurt, Your Smart Guide to a Pain-Free Life.
A really important book.
Our mission here is to pull out the most compelling, science-backed insights, reveal some new tools, maybe some new strategies for lasting relief.
And show how things are actually changing.
That's it. How our understanding and, crucially, our treatment of pain is undergoing this, well, pretty profound transformation. It feels exciting, actually.
It is. There's a lot more hope now.
So stick with us. We're going to start with a really powerful patient story. It just perfectly illustrates this journey from, despair to genuine hope. Okay, let's dive right into this story. It really encapsulates that silent struggle so many people face. Meet Bess Talbot. She's a 47-year-old lawyer from Alabama.
Right.
And for 2 decades, Bess was just crippled by daily migraine headaches.
2 decades. Daily. That's hard to imagine.
But isn't it? Living with that level of pain day after day. She described feeling constantly woozy, dizzy, this relentless brain fog.
Making simple things impossible, I bet.
Totally. Forgetting grocery lists, she famously left her keys in a department store fitting room once.
Oh, wow.
She told Dr. Gupta these migraines pushed her into a very dark place. So desperate, get this, at one point she actually wished for a brain tumor.
Wished for a tumor.
Yeah, just so there'd be a clear diagnosis, something tangible doctors could find and, operate on.
That level of desperation,
Yeah.
it really speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
And, what's so striking about Bess's experience is how perfectly it mirrors the struggle so many people encounter.
That frustration.
Yeah, that profound frustration, feeling unheard, misunderstood, maybe even dismissed by the healthcare system. It happens all the time with chronic conditions.
Right.
Her desperate wish for any clear diagnosis, even a really severe one, it just highlights how isolating and frankly, invalidating, persistent, unexplained pain can be.
It's a story we hear too often.
Way too often, sadly.
Exactly. So after years, literally years, of failed attempts to find any kind of lasting relief, her neurologist was just stumped.
At a loss.
Completely. He finally recommended she travel to the Michigan Headache and Neurological Institute, MHNI, in Ann Arbor, to see Dr. Joel Saper.
Okay.
Bess felt like she had nothing left to lose, so she made the trip. And this is where Dr. Saper introduced what he calls a revolutionary concept.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Revolutionary how?
Well, he doesn't just treat the symptoms. He sees the patient not as some passive recipient of care, but as an active investigator. Someone working shoulder to shoulder with the experts.
That sounds, well, it sounds like common sense almost. Why is it revolutionary in practice?
Good question.
It's revolutionary because it fundamentally shifts the entire dynamic of healing. It changes everything.
How so?
So at MHNI, Bess engaged in a truly multidisciplinary approach. She wasn't just seeing one specialist.
Right.
She consulted with neurologists, psychologists. She had evaluations by physical and occupational therapists.
The whole team.
The whole team. They fine-tuned her treatment with nutritional strategies, pharmaceutical strategies. But the real game changer, the thing Dr. Saper does, is focus on the who.
The who, meaning the patient themselves.
Exactly. Not just the treatment. He delves deep into the patient's entire history, their outlook, their expectations, everything that makes up the person experiencing the pain.
I see.
And that creates an optimal healing environment. It empowers the patient, makes them central to their own care, which is absolutely crucial for something as complex as chronic migraines.
And this focus on the who, on her history, this is where Bess's story takes this incredibly revealing turn.
Okay.
During her week-long stay there, she shared a piece of her past, something repeatedly dismissed by every other doctor she'd seen.
Something they missed.
Completely. It was a high school cheerleading accident decades earlier.
Wow, decades.
Yeah. She was a flyer in a pyramid, took a steep fall, landed hard on her tailbone, felt this sharp stab of pain.
Ouch.
And then another flyer crashed right onto her, slamming her head.
Oh my goodness. That sounds serious.
It was. Scans back then showed hairline fractures in 3 upper thoracic vertebrae. She ended up in a rigid back brace for 6 months.
6 months. And she'd mentioned this before.
Many times, but doctors just waved it off. They said the link was too flimsy to pursue.
Unbelievable. And this is exactly where Dr. Saper's powerful analogy comes in, connecting those dots that everyone else missed.
Right.
He explains the genetics. In Bess's case, she had a family history of migraines that put the rock near the cliff.
Yeah.
It created a predisposition of vulnerability.
Makes sense.
But the cheerleading accident, that significant trauma to her spine, her neck, the very base of her brain, that was what tipped the boulder.
Ah, it started rolling.
Exactly. It activated those latent tendencies. And this explains why previous efforts at pain relief just kept failing.
Because they weren't addressing the root cause.
Precisely. They never addressed this deeper historical issue. It's a powerful illustration, really, how a seemingly distant event can have these profound, long-lasting effects on our pain responses.
And why just treating the surface symptoms won't work.
It just won't cut it for chronic complex pain.
That is a powerful insight. But if these deeper historical issues are so critical, why do you think they were missed? So consistently missed by her other doctors, left her suffering for so long.
Well, it's complex. A lot of it is rooted in a healthcare system that's really designed for acute care.
Yeah.
Quick fixes.
Not chronic conditions.
Not chronic, multifaceted conditions, no. Doctors are often pressed for time. Standard diagnostic tests, MRIs, X-rays, they might not show the full picture. They don't always reveal how past trauma impacts the central nervous system over decades.
Right. It's not always visible on a scan.
Not at all. And there can be a bias, too, a bias towards immediate visible causes, rather than digging into a patient's entire life story for clues.
So it takes more time, more listening.
It really does. It requires a willingness to listen, to connect the dots, and frankly, to treat the whole person, not just the headache or the symptom. And many systems just aren't set up for that kind of deep dive.
What a crucial distinction. Okay, so armed with this truly comprehensive understanding of Bess's history,
Yeah.
her treatment plan became incredibly tailored, personalized.
As it should be.
It included dedicated physical therapy, specific exercises designed to strengthen her spine and neck.
Targeting that old injury site.
Exactly. Continual calibration of medications she'd already been on, but adjusting them based on this new understanding. And a renewed focus on stress management, meditation, exercise at home.
A holistic approach.
Totally. Precise, informed by her unique history, and it genuinely transformed her life.
And the outcome was, well, exactly as Bess described it, life-changing.
That's incredible.
It really is. She didn't just get physical relief, though that was huge. She also gained confidence. Confidence in reading her body's cues, those physical and emotional signals of an approaching migraine.
So she felt more in control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She felt encouraged to actively participate in her own healing. She engaged more deeply with the exercise, the stress management, the meditation. It all clicked.
Yeah.
And her powerful statement, "You've given me my life back," it just perfectly illustrates the power of this approach. Collaborative, precise, multidisciplinary.
It's a testament to listening, isn't it?
Absolutely. Listening to the patient, connecting all the pieces of their story, that's where the breakthroughs happen.
So, Bess's story, her individual triumph, it's a real beacon of hope. But it also makes us look at the bigger picture, the broader landscape of chronic pain. What does this all mean for the, hundreds of millions of people suffering right now?
It's a huge number.
It is. Dr. Gupta's book shares some really alarming statistics. Nearly 1/4 of adults, 24.3% to be exact, suffer from chronic pain.
Almost 1 in 4.
Yeah. And nearly 1 in 10, 8.5%, report high-impact pain. That's pain so severe it significantly limits their daily life, their work.
Those aren't just numbers. That's immense suffering.
And a staggering societal burden, too.
They paint a truly challenging picture, and the prevalence, it just gets worse with age.
Right, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it affects about 12.3% of 18 to 29-year-olds. But that number jumps to a massive 36% for folks 65 and older.
Wow, that's a big jump.
It is. And maybe even more shocking. New cases of chronic pain are now happening more often among U.S. adults than new cases of diabetes, depression, or even high blood pressure.
More often than diabetes or depression.
More often. Think about that. This isn't just a health issue anymore. It's a growing public health crisis. It's reshaping healthcare systems globally, and honestly, it's impacting how we all live our lives.
That's a stark comparison. Really puts the scale of this quiet crisis into perspective. It's not just personal, it's reshaping public health.
Absolutely.
And to give you, the listener, a better idea of what conditions we're talking about, the U.S. Pain Foundation did a survey in 2022, listed the most common chronic pain conditions. Top of the list, back pain. 67% of respondents.
Not surprising,
Oh,
unfortunately.
no. Followed closely by joint pain from arthritis at 56%, neuropathy at 53%, neck pain at 51%.
It's huge numbers.
And it keeps going. Muscle spasms, hip pain, headache, fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis, irritable bowel syndrome, migraine, all affecting a really significant portion of people.
And here's a really striking detail from that survey. Only 35% of the respondents said their pain was directly caused by a specific trauma or injury.
Only 35%. So what about the rest?
The vast majority. They cited no obvious cause. Or even more commonly, they had multiple contributing conditions.
Ah, like comorbidities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking 20% having 2 to 5 conditions, 30% having 6 to 10, 24% with 11 to 15.
11 to 15 conditions.
And get this, 21% had 15 or more. One person reported a staggering 42 conditions.
42! How do you even manage that?
I mean, it's incredibly difficult. It just underscores the enormous amount of physical, social, and emotional baggage that chronic pain carries. Makes it unbelievably complex to address.
It certainly does. And maybe we should clarify here the difference between acute and chronic pain, because they're really different beasts.
Crucial distinction, yeah.
Acute pain is that sudden thing, right? Touch a hot stove, pull your hand back fast, it's urgent, serves a clear warning function.
It protects you from harm.
Exactly. Chronic pain, though, that's long-standing, typically lasts beyond 3 months. And often it feels like the system's gone haywire.
Like a central nervous system misfire, as Dr. Gupta puts it. It serves no obvious protective purpose anymore. Or sometimes it's just this stubborn mystery that even baffles doctors. And this lack of a clear cause, this mystery. It often leads, unfortunately, to societal marginalization.
Oh, so?
Well, think about invisible or silent conditions. Things like migraine, fibromyalgia, irritable bowel syndrome, endometriosis.
You can't easily see on a test.
Exactly. When the symptoms aren't obvious or the standard tests come back normal, there's this unfortunate tendency towards dismissive attitudes. An inference, sometimes unspoken, that if medicine can't objectively see it or fix it easily, maybe the problem doesn't really exist.
That must be incredibly frustrating for patients.
Deeply. Dr. Gupta makes a really important point. Subjective suffering does not mean pain isn't real. It simply means it's more enigmatic, more complex.
It's a vital point. Why are we, as a society, sometimes so quick to dismiss what we can't objectively measure or see, especially when the impact on someone's life is so profound? That is a crucial question. And it points to maybe a deep flaw in how we've traditionally approached pain. So, okay, let's unpack this a bit. Why has effective pain treatment been so elusive for so long?
Yeah, why the struggle?
A consortium pain task force white paper actually laid out 4 key reasons why chronic pain is worsening, both in prevalence and impact.
Okay, what did they find?
First, this mistaken idea that most pain can just be fixed, with a single pill or a single procedure.
The magic bullet idea.
Yeah.
Which rarely works for chronic issues.
Right. Second, medical training still tends to overemphasize opioid medications compared to other, more comprehensive options.
A legacy issue, but a persistent one.
Third, the actual business model of medicine. It often promotes simpler, quicker solutions, even for really complex problems. It's just more efficient that way, financially.
Incentives aren't always aligned with best patient care for complexity.
Exactly. And finally, patients have too often been treated as passive participants, just receiving care with not enough emphasis on self-care, prevention, or their active role.
Like Bess Talbot before she met Dr. Saper.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the truly encouraging news. These barriers, they are being actively challenged now. They're being overcome.
Really? How?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you can see a profound shift happening. Right now, I genuinely believe we are at the dawn of a new era in how we understand and respond to pain.
A new era. That sounds hopeful.
It is. I'm incredibly optimistic about the changes that are underway.
Okay, so define this new era for us. What are the biggest scientific takeaways, the things that are really changing the game?
Well, one of the most fundamental shifts is understanding the brain's role. Yes, the brain creates pain. That's where the sensation is processed, experienced.
Right.
But, and this is huge, that very same brain has this innate, profound capacity to rewire the pain experience.
Rewire it, like change how it feels.
Exactly. You can dial it down. It can even, in some cases, eliminate it entirely. This flips the script from passively enduring pain to actively engaging our own neural pathways for relief.
Wow. Okay, what else?
Another massive insight.
Right.
We have unique pain signatures in our brainwaves.
Pain signatures, like fingerprints.
Kind of. It's not just fascinating science. It fundamentally challenges that one-size-fits-all approach to pain relief.
Yeah.
It opens the door for truly personalized treatments that literally read your brain's unique pain story.
That's incredible personalization.
And because we now understand this incredible two-way street, this brain-body interaction,
Yeah.
we have more opportunities than ever before to intervene, to change pain circuitry, change pain chemistry, not just in the brain, but throughout the entire body.
That's an astonishing level of insight. And beyond the pure science, are there other things shaping this new era, other advancements?
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing crucial societal shifts alongside the tech.
Like,
Well, there's an overdue spotlight finally being shown on gender biases, racial biases, other systemic biases in how pain is treated.
that's so important.
It really is. And it's leading the way towards more effective, truly individualized care that actually accounts for people's diverse experiences. And technology is stepping up too.
AI.
Yeah, the rise of AI assists for pain assessment, for management. It's charting a new path for safer, more precise treatments. It helps remove some of that subjectivity that can lead to misunderstandings.
Okay, so for many of us, maybe listening right now, we grew up with RICE, right? Rest, ice, compression, elevation. That was the gospel for injuries.
The go-to for decades.
But you're saying there's a big shift here. This next change is pretty significant. We're moving away from just race.
We are. Instead, you're seeing new acronyms emerge. Things like MEAT.
Meat.
Yeah, movement, exercise, analgesia, treatment,
Yeah.
or police protection, optimal loading, ice, compression, elevation.
Okay, police keeps the ice and compression.
It does, but adds that crucial optimal loading. And there are even newer frameworks like peace and love.
Peace and love. Okay, what's the core idea behind moving beyond just resting and icing everything? What's the big insight?
It signals a really fundamental paradigm shift. Instead of just resting an injury, sometimes into oblivion.
Yeah, where it gets stiff.
Exactly.
Hmm.
The key insight now is that optimal movement and gradual loading are often the best medicine. The body is designed to heal itself.
Right.
And prolonged complete rest can actually hinder that process. It leads to stiffness, weakness, makes recovery longer.
So movement is key.
Early, optimal movement. Now, the specifics of meat versus police versus peace and love, they vary a bit in the exact steps. But the overarching message, the key takeaway for listeners, is this move towards promoting movement, educating yourself about the injury, and really empowering the body's natural healing processes.
Rather than just shutting it down with rest.
Exactly. Working with the body's ability to heal. It's about active recovery, not passive rest.
That makes a lot of sense, letting the body do what it's actually built to do. So what specific tools or therapies are getting good evidence now, fitting into this new approach?
We're seeing strong evidence for some practical tools. Things like muscle massage foam rollers.
Oh yeah, those can be intense.
They can. But they're great for keeping fascia, that thin, web-like connective tissue around our muscles, loose and flexible. Fascia health is increasingly seen as really important.
Okay, what else?
We're also seeing encouraging data emerge for therapies like acupuncture, targeted trigger point injections for specific muscle knots, and various forms of hands-on physical manipulation, like physical therapy or chiropractic adjustments.
So more hands-on active approaches.
Generally, yes. The focus is shifting towards modalities that encourage natural healing, restore function, and address the underlying mechanics, not just mask the symptoms temporarily.
And the research doesn't stop there, does it? Dr. Gupta also touches on substances maybe previously considered outside the mainstream,
Right. Things like cannabis and other plant-based cannabinoids, like CBD.
which are getting a lot more attention now.
A lot more. Alongside pharmaceutical approaches like low-dose ketamine infusions for certain types of chronic pain, and even carefully exploring the potential role of psychedelics in controlled settings for pain and related conditions like PTSD or depression.
Wow, that's definitely a shift.
And don't forget natural pain-relieving supplements, too. The field is just wide open right now for understanding their potential. It signals a much, much broader toolkit than we've relied on in the past.
Now look, anyone who's followed the news, especially over the past 20 years, you've likely been angered or saddened or both by the opioid epidemic.
A terrible tragedy.
A tragedy fueled by ignorance, arrogance, greed. It's rightly dominated the conversation around pain and maybe overshadowed other things.
It absolutely has.
But Dr. Gupta wants to share what he calls the untold part of that story, which is...
The untold part is the plethora of other effective pain relief options that have been available or are being developed, but have been overshadowed by the focus on opioids. And we're seeing concrete examples of this crucial shift away from just defaulting to opioids.
Like
Well, the FDA recently approved a brand new non-opioid pain medication. It was the first one in over 25 years.
25 years. That's a big deal.
It's a landmark achievement, yeah. And it's not just about new drugs. Entire emergency room systems, protocols, have been developed that now use hardly any opioids at all.
Really? Even in the ER?
Even in the they're successfully managing acute pain without relying on opioids and their associated risks. It just shows what's possible when we really rethink the approach from the ground up.
And part of that rethinking involves looking back, too, right? A reevaluation of ancient healing practices.
Absolutely. These traditions, think acupuncture, meditation, certain types of body work, they were often unfairly dismissed by Western medicine as, unscientific.
Yeah, woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But now, they're increasingly being recognized for their effectiveness. We're seeing more rigorous studies, and they're being integrated into modern evidence-based approaches. It's about taking the best from all worlds. And that really is the truly hopeful message here, I think. Modern science and ancient wisdom, they're coming together. They are collectively cracking the code on pain.
I like that, cracking the code.
It's a powerful combination. And it offers the potential for genuine relief and, importantly, prevention, rather than just constantly managing or suppressing symptoms.
So bringing it back to you, the listener, what does all this mean for your own journey with pain or preventing it? Dr. Gupta makes it crystal clear we are the most essential experts on our own pain.
That's empowering.
It really is. He
Right.
stresses the power you have just by paying close attention to your body, listening to its signals, and utilizing your own inner resources for prevention and relief. It puts the agency right back in your hands.
Not solely relying on the doctor to fix everything.
Exactly. It's a partnership.
And that sense of empowerment, it highlights the importance of connections, doesn't it?
Connections. How so?
Well, the vital partnership between doctor and patient, like we just said,
Yeah.
that needs to be strong. The support within families, that matters hugely. Among communities of caring, support groups,
Right.
but maybe most importantly, the crucial connection within us, between our own body and brain, understanding that link.
That internal connection.
That is the ultimate pathway, I believe, to understanding and ultimately to managing our own pain experience.
Exactly. And it's that connection, that crucial link within us between body and brain, that not only helps us understand pain, but it also makes prevention such a powerful antidote.
Prevention is key.
By harnessing this understanding, this deep dive really offers you a range of ways to control your risk. Your risk for both acute and chronic pain, ways to strengthen your resilience, and how to use a full spectrum of tools if and when pain does occur.
You have more control, more options than you probably realize.
Absolutely. You really do. So we've taken quite a journey today. From Bess Talbot's deeply personal struggle, that 20-year battle with migraines,
Incredible story.
all the way to these astounding scientific and practical breakthroughs that are now offering real new hope and control for millions. The central message, the empowering message of Dr. Sanjay Gupta's book, it's just so clear. It doesn't have to hurt.
Not just a title.
Not just a catchy title at all. It means there are far more effective options available than maybe you realized. And there are vital steps you can take today to greatly reduce your chances of suffering pain tomorrow, or to find real relief if you are suffering now. So as you reflect on everything we've discussed, maybe consider this provocative thought. If your brain has the capacity to create pain,
Which it does.
it also has the capacity to fundamentally change that experience, to rewire it. So the question becomes, what connections will you explore, both within your own body-brain system and with your healthcare team? How can you start to rewrite your own pain story and embrace a more pain-free life?
It's about taking that active role.
It really is. We definitely encourage you to continue your own deep dive, perhaps by exploring Dr. Sanjay Gupta's book, It Doesn't Have to Hurt, to gain even more personalized insights and tools.